welcome to the LCP TV pregame show. This is year 15 for LCP TV, bringing you Flyer football, and we've got an exciting matchup tonight. The first home game for the Flyers, taking on the visiting Logansport Tigers. Logansport, coached by longtime head coach Kevin McGee, will be a challenge for the Flyers tonight. Quick recap from the season starting last week. The Flyers go on the road to Monroe in a torrential downpour in a game that was very muddy on the field and muddy in probably the way it was played by both teams. A low-scoring affair. The Flyers lost 8-6 in John Sella's first game back as the head coach. Now, Coach Sella, we've seen a lot of Coach Sella over the years. Long-time offensive coordinator, serving under Steven Jeter, serving under Coach Mike Green. He has taken over the reins this year. Brought back a familiar face. Coach Jeter's back on the sidelines. So we should see another high-flying offense from Coach Sella and his offensive players. Now, quarterback Restovich is back. He started the first 4 games last year for the Flyers. Showed a lot of promise, taking a lot of ups and downs during those first 4 games, but gaining valuable experience that Coach Sella is hoping to use this year. But tonight, Logansport is going to be a tough matchup. The Flyers went on the road last year to Logansport, lost 46-21, and Logansport got off to a hot start this year, beating Manny last week on the road 46-7. Now, key for tonight's matchup is going to be how the Flyers handle LeShanton Bland. He's a senior running back, defensive end for the Tigers, 6'2", 230 pounds. Coach Kevin McGee has said that he's already starting to receive FCS offers. And so that's going to be a key for the Flyers' defensive line tonight and how they are able to stop him from a tackling standpoint. Talking to some of the coaches before the game, that's something they focused on this week in practice, is how the defensive line is able to fire off the ball, try to fill the gaps and keep him from having a big game. And then on the flip side, he's one of the better defensive ends in the area as well. And that's going to be a tough matchup for the Flyers' offensive line as they try to protect quarterback Restovich and allow him to get the ball out of his hands quickly and to not allow Bland to take over the game from a defensive standpoint and really hurt the Flyers by putting them in 3rd and long situations and making the Flyers one-dimensional. Because the Flyers do like to utilize running back Mason Drake. Had a good game last week against the Warriors, scoring the only touchdown last week in the 8-6 loss. And so the Flyers will be looking to have a well-balanced offensive game plan around those 2 players. Again, Coach Sella is somebody that we've seen over the years. We've watched him grow up as a coach, filling in at times during the COVID year in 2020 as a head coach. So he has head coach experience prior to taking over as the head coach this year and has done a very admirable job. He's very well respected in the local coaching community. When you talk to other coaches in the Shreveport-Bossier area, they are very complimentary of what he has done in his kind of short career as an offensive coordinator. He has been up for some other jobs in the area, and so I know when the coaching position became open, when Mike Green stepped down, it was important to keep Coach Sella here coaching the Flyers and allowing him to continue building a program that has had a lot of success over the years under longtime coaches Johnny LeBlanc, Mike Green, Steven Jeter, of the likes. So again, tonight, beautiful night for high school football. Not a cloud in the sky, but again, it's going to be a tough matchup for the Flyers as they get ready to take on the Logansport Tigers. And we are getting ready for the Flyers to get ready to take the field. So this has been the LCP TV pregame show. I'm Mark Carmody, and I'm getting ready to send it to the booth to David Winkler, who's handling the play-by-play, and John Carmody, the color analyst, longtime veterans of Flyer football on LCP TV.
The Three-pointers will be flying all over the Loyola gym when the annual alumni basketball game takes place on Saturday, January 4th. There's a rumor that some defense might actually be played, so you won't want to miss out on playing in this game. In recent years, we've had players from at least 6 decades lace up the sneakers and give it their best shot. It's a fun way to spend a Saturday showing off your skills on the hard court. This is a fundraiser for the basketball program, and you can play as much or as little as you like. If you're a former Flyer basketball player, we'd love to have you join us. Contact head coach Ben Schonfarber at the school if you'd like to participate.
You came home from work with a migraine. Your son has a sore throat on a Saturday. You need care right now. Christus Health has affordable, convenient, on-demand care because you don't always get sick during doctor's hours. Help is in the palm of your hand. You can reach our clinicians within 20 minutes from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Visits for residents of Texas and Louisiana over age 5 cost $30. Christus Health, on demand, because we're here for you wherever here is.
How does your bank define local? At Home Federal, it means being here in Shreveport and Bossier since the doors opened in 1924. It means surviving and thriving alongside our customers through the good times and the bad. Since our beginning, Home Federal has been a part of Shreveport Bossier. Our roots are here. Our headquarters are here. Decisions are made here. That's how we define local. Home Federal Bank, a better way.
The annual Loyola Style Show and Luncheon will be held Wednesday, November 13th at the Bossier Civic Center. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the show begins at 11:30. Sponsored by the Parents Association, the Style Show is a long-standing tradition at Loyola that celebrates the senior class. Loyola seniors will take the stage for the main show, where groups model clothes from local stores in addition to the Senior Walk and the Alumni Walk. All Flyer alumni and future Flyers are invited to join in the fun.
We ask that you please rise for our pregame prayer and national anthem. Our pregame prayer, leading us in prayer will be Loyola Senior Evan Lee.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Father in heaven, We ask your blessing on the game we are about to play. Give each one of us the courage to play this game in a manner which by our words and our actions is pleasing to you. Let us enter into this competition in a spirit of sportsmanship and with a respect for the members of the opposing team. We ask you, Father, to bless each one of us, especially the coaches, officials, parents, and players. Keep us under the protection of your Son, Jesus Christ, and help us be aware of his presence with us in this game. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Leading us for the national anthem is freshman Margaret Van Cherry.
Oh, say, can you see as the dawn journeying high, what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of God brave?
Gentlemen, let's shake hands, quick. All right, Logansport, Loyola. I have a coin here. It's got a fleur-de-lis in black on one side, which will be heads. We'll go ahead and make the crawfish on the back be tails. All right. You make the toss. I'm gonna let it hit the ground. What's your call? Tails. Call tails. That's the crawfish. It is heads. You won the toss. Do you want to receive or defer? Defer. All right, you want to receive now then? And you want to kick away from the clock so you have the clock in the second quarter? Move your back over there, please. Right here. Going to receive this side. Gentlemen, check hands again. Let's bring your team back.
Good evening and welcome to Mesmer Stadium. It's been 10 months since we've been here to bring you some live high school football, and we're happy to be back. David Winkler, joined as always by my partner John Carmody, Art Carmody, who you've already heard from on the sideline. We're ready to bring you this great game from here at Mesmer Stadium tonight. Logansport is the opponent for the Flyers' first home game. They come in here 1-0. coming off a 46-7 win at Manny. Head coach Kevin McGee. Loyola comes in 0-1, coming off a rain-soaked 8-6 loss at St. Frederick's. But to be perfectly honest, it'd be hard to really learn a lot from that game, John, considering the weather conditions at the time. So we don't quite know exactly what we're going to get here tonight. All we can tell you is we hope it's a good one. The Flyers are going to kick off to start the game. Beautiful night here tonight, high 70s, very little wind. Sun sets behind us, and we're ready for some football. The Lorette kick goes into the end zone for a touchback. So Logansport will have their first possession of the night, and they'll begin at the 20-yard line.
That's kind of shocking right there. I mean, you know the coaches trust Lorette right there to kick that ball. They had 3 guys back there to return. They were ready to return that ball, so you better get that ball that deep. Really nice job.
Keaton Kaysen leads the Tigers out for their first possession. Tanashton Bland is the running back, but they're going to hand off to number 1, Jacaden Carter. Carter's going to pick up 14 yards around the right side and pick up a first down.
Yeah, right there you can see, the Logansport was expecting the Flyers to follow the tailback, and so it's really a nice play right out of the gates to come around with the reverse. So, again, right off the bat, the Flyers got to know their responsibilities.
Bland was really their workhorse in the first game against Manny, had several nice runs.
Jack Ebar, senior.
And he had some big holes behind number 75,
senior,
Aiden Davis.
Grant Solomons, junior, First Baptist Middle School.
This time he's going to take it right
junior,
up the middle.
First Baptist.
And Flyer defense
senior,
will stop him after a gain of 4, make it second and 6.
Alex Mitchell,
really
junior,
very nice
First
play
Baptist.
by Jackie.
Carter Ward,
right
senior, Southfield. Thomas Gosley, First Baptist, sophomore.
Grayson Nunn, junior, Calvary Baptist Academy.
Evan
Lorette, senior,
they
St.
like
John's.
to run up the middle, and so your defensive ends have got to be able to get off blocks, and Jack showed you how you're supposed to do it.
Again, the handoff goes to Bland around the left side this time, and he'll pick up another 4.5 yards and set up a third. Let's call it a long one.
Yeah, I mean, the Flyers played that really well. They strung it out. They had safety, cornerback, everybody kind of coming up. They knew what they were going to see, but you can see how good a running back is. He was still able to push and get 4 or 5 yards out of that.
Logansport has a fairly sizable offensive line for a 1A football team. They definitely meet the eye test. 3rd and 1. Handoff again to Bland. No, excuse me. That time it was Jacaden Carter. And the Fire defense does a great job stuffing him for a very short game. Maybe picked up about half a yard, and it'll make it 4th and 1. And Logansport, at least for the moment, acts like they're going to punt this one away.
I believe that was Alex Mitchell who came from the backside of the defense and came down the defensive line to actually get there. Really an outstanding play.
And they're going to fake it. I was worried about that, John. The way they were moving the line first couple of plays, you kind of wondered if they were really going to punt that, and they didn't. Picked up 2 first down Tigers at the Tiger 46. Oh, but there is a flag. Missed that. And that'll nullify the first down and mark it back to the Tiger 38-yard line. So what was a 4th and 1 is now 4th and 7, and we'll probably see the real thing this time.
You never know, though. I mean, that's you did see the up back kind of shift. You can see how attentive they are to these different shifts.
Punt fielded. That was McKenzie on the return, true freshman. Not that there are any red shirts in high school, but freshman Charlie McKenzie. Nice return, came up a little gimpy. Hope he's okay.
I'll tell you one thing, that tells you something about the kid's ability to be a freshman, to pick up a punt off the bounce and have the confidence to pick it up and go. What a really outstanding play on his part.
So the McKenzie return sets the Flyers up in really good field position. 1st and 10 from their own 45. Restovich at quarterback. Mason Drake running back behind him. Restovich is going to throw to Drake. Drake catches it around the left side, picks up a yard, and that's about it.
Yeah, Mason did the right thing right there. As he throws it out there, there were 2 Logansport defenders there, and so, turning it up wasn't going to get you anything. So, he tried to turn on the jets and get to the corner, which is exactly what he needed to do.
Mason Drake was a busy man last week, carried the ball 29 times for 112 yards. This time Restovich is going to keep it, and Restovich does a nice job. Picks up 14 yards, and it looks like a horse collar at the end of that as well.
I tell you what, they sold that handoff very well. They were able to suck in the defensive end, so Restovich had a huge hole to go past.
Now the foul's going to be against Loyola. Wow. It sure did look like he got horse-collared from here, John, but that's not what the official says.
It makes you think that, somebody said something right on that tackle. So, again, you hate to see a big play ruined in that capacity.
So it was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. It's a first down because he gained the first on the carry, but with the foul, it'll be marked basically back at the original line of scrimmage. It's almost like we're starting over, John.
Yeah, that was too big a play to have reversed.
So after the officials get that all sorted out, Restovich pass is complete again. Now this time it's Ben Brewer. Brewer will get it to midfield. It'll be a gain of 4. Make it 2nd and 6.
I like the way they're starting this out. I mean, these are short gains, but you're getting your quarterback and your receivers together, passing and catching, and so Logansport is going to have to make some adjustment at some point whether or not they're going to come up and try to take away those short passing routes, and that might present an opportunity to go a little bit deeper.
Hamilton in motion, and he's going to block straight ahead for Drake, and Drake's going to pick up another 4 yards there, set up 3rd and short, make it 3rd and 2. 7:45 left here in the first quarter. David Winkler, John Carmody, Art Carmody on the sideline. Happy to be with you for another season of Flyer football on LCP TV. John Sella, he's the new head coach of the Flyers. This is his first game in Messenger Stadium as a head coach. He's still calling the plays. He hasn't relinquished that, and he had a good one on tap. Let's see who the penalty's on. False start against the Flyers, so that'll nullify yet another first down. So Loyola not off to the best start in terms of discipline here in the first quarter, John.
But I like what they're doing. They're using a lot of motion right here, making Logansport, follow the man, make sure that they're staying disciplined. I really liked that play call in that situation right there, and I really do think that would have been a positive gainer for the Flyers had there not been the false start.
So after the penalty, now we have 3rd and 7. Flyers need the 44 of Logansport for a first. Restovich passes incomplete. It looks like he had Jeter out in the left flats, but not to be on the first possession for the Flyers tonight.
Really a well-thrown ball, timed well. Right there, it could have easily been caught. He'd have had to turn it up to actually get the first down, but again, a well-timed pass.
Carter Ward will punt it away for the Flyers. Jordan Meschel back for Logansport. The Ward punt will go right to him. Meschel will take it across the 20 up to the 30. He's made a couple of men miss before he's finally brought down at the 39-yard line. Good return. Jake Black with a good tackle, and the Tigers will have it 1st and 10 from their own 39.
It's a bad theme on the first possession right there to saddle yourself with 20 yards of penalty yards, and so the good things that you saw the Flyers do and some of the plays, really you never got to really see them actually use their athleticism and see what would actually happen in these plays if they came to fruition. So I hope that we can kind of settle ourselves down and get the penalties under control.
Pass is incomplete. Kaysen. Who is that? Looked like he wanted Drake Dooch on the right side. One hopper, 2nd and 10. And Carter takes that handoff, hard running down to the 45. Late flags come in there.
That's an interesting call. They call that a horse collar because he really had his shirt look like and kind of, I'm not sure, different vantage point from up here than down there, but if that's what they're calling, I'm not so sure about that one.
Personal foul against Logansport. So, tell you what, the officials are busy tonight, John. It seems like we've had a flag about every other play at this point.
Well, on that punt, one of the Logansport players came in for the block, and he planted one of the Loyola players and kind of stood over him. So I think there's a little bit of animosity, and I'm sure there's a little bit of jawing already going on in this game, and I'm sure that the officials don't want to hear any part of it. So I'm glad to see it. They need to play the game.
So I believe this is going to take us to the mandatory water break. 6-minute mark. I'll just make sure before we cut out of here. It'll be 2nd and 18. 2nd and 18. And we are going to have a break here. First quarter here in Mesmer, 5:55 left. No score. You're watching Flyer football on LCP TV.
You came home from work with a migraine. Your son has a sore throat on a Saturday. You need care right now. Christus Health has affordable, convenient, on-demand care because you don't always get sick during doctor's hours. Help is in the palm of your hand. You can reach our clinicians within 20 minutes from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Visits for residents of Texas and Louisiana over age 5 cost $30. Christus Health, on demand, because we're here for you wherever here is.
How does your bank define local? At Home Federal, it means being here in Shreveport and Bossier since the doors opened in 1924. It means surviving and thriving alongside our customers through the good times and the bad. Since our beginning, Home Federal has been a part of Shreveport Bossier. Our roots are here. Our headquarters are here. Decisions are made here. That's how we define local. Home Federal Bank, a better way.
Welcome back. Logansport has it. 3rd and 18. Kaysen's going to look to throw his passes incomplete. He wanted Deutsch again. And that'll bring up 4th down. So Flyer defense 2 possessions, and they get the ball back twice. A good start for the Flyers defensively, carrying over from what was a really good defensive performance last week, holding St. Frederick's to 1 score.
Yeah, right there, they were trying to do that inside slant, and Jack Buzwitsky played really well, stayed right at home, and so it made it difficult to even be able to catch that ball.
And Jeter's just going to let that one roll dead, and that'll bring the Flyer offense back out onto the field. Let's meet the starters for the Flyer offense.
Bryce Restovich, sophomore, St. John's.
Mason Drake, junior, St. Joseph's.
Ben Brewer, senior, Cattle Middle Magnet.
Brock Jeter, sophomore, Calvary.
Jake Black, junior, First Baptist.
Colby Hamilton, senior, First Baptist.
James Scott Woikovitz, senior, First Baptist.
Jack Ebarb, senior, Cattle Middle Magnet.
Wyatt Lofton, junior, Uri Drive Middle School.
Jack Mizaszewski, senior, First Baptist.
Hayden Knight, sophomore, Cattle Middle Magnet.
Flyers have it 1st and 10 from their own 38. Restovich pass is complete to Drake. Drake breaks it. Drake across the 31, man to beat. Drake into the end zone. Touchdown, Flyers! 62 yards for the Flyer touchdown. And Loyola scores first at home. Great job down the left sideline by Mason Drake.
Well, not only that, but they had run that same play where they had motioned and gone to the shallow receiver earlier in the game, and they motioned Brock Jeter and ran him shallow, and they set it up to look like they're going to go to the right. So they set it up beautifully. You can see Logansport actually reacting to Jeter. So beautiful design play.
And the extra point is good. We're going to go to the sideline. Art Carmody. A little bit of technical difficulty down there with Art's mics. We're going to get that sorted out. We'll have it for you next time. So the Flyers strike first, 7-0, 5:05 left in the first quarter. Great play that time. Restovich to Mason Drake. Mason Drake showed a little speed there, John, down the left sideline.
He really did, but I mean, you could see that the Flyers have nearly motioned in every play. They want to see what Logansport's going to do to their motion. I really, John Sulla, very creative early in this game.
Lorette with another booming kick. This time it's going to be fielded at the 7 by Logansport. A good return. And the Flyers are going to end up adding 15 to that. You got to learn how to let go there. Great return by Jacaden Carter. So he returned it to the 42. You're going to add 15 to that, and it's going to cross midfield. Logansport's going to be set up in really good field position.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn from that one, David. Yeah, we saw on the first kickoff, you get it to the end zone, that's one thing. But 3 guys deep, you better get that ball either away from them or past them. And so you kick it right to them. Logansport had a beautiful wedge set up in the middle of the field. And so, the Flyers were in trouble right off the bat once he received it. And so once he broke outside, of course, we lost containment, and then you really have trouble. So, there's a lot that they're going to look at on that film and try to correct.
So 1st and 10 from the Flyer 42, best starting field position for the Tigers so far in this game. Still in the first, 4:56 left. Flyers lead at 7-0. Oh, illegal motion that time. Yes, sir. We got that one. It looked like Tanash and Bland Got a little bit of an early start that time. That was an easy one for the official.
Nice play by Alex Mitchell again. You know, that's the read that you have to take right there. You said it well, that they run well behind their right tackle. And so if you're the backside strong safety, you know, you got to have, you know, the ability to get to the other side. And that is 2 plays that Alex Mitchell's made that, you know, he is the man to make that play. He's done it both times.
Kaysen looking to throw. Rolls right. He's under pressure. And he is going to go down on a big hit that time. He was chased down by Buzwitsky. And then Carter Doyle finished him off with a big hit.
That's right. I mean, really a nice play in the open field by Carter Doyle. You know, it's interesting the way that they stacked their receivers way wide in that formation. And the Flyers, you know, did not really respect the fact that they were going to throw that ball, and they were leaving only one corner out there. So, you know, you could see Logansport was going to try to roll out and try to give him the choice of the 2 receivers. So, you know, they had to make that play the way that they did it, because if he'd have gotten outside of Carter Doyle, he might have had opportunity on one or the other receiver against one cornerback.
So it looks like Logansport was a little late getting that play up to the line of scrimmage. And Coach McGee is not happy with his offense right now. So we'll take a quick break. 3:58 left here in the first. Flyers lead at 7-0. You're watching Flyer football on LCP TV.
How does your bank define local? At Home Federal, it means being here in Shreveport and Bossier since the doors opened in 1924. It means surviving and thriving alongside our customers through the good times and the bad. Since our beginning, Home Federal has been a part of Shreveport Bossier. Our roots are here. Our headquarters are here. Decisions are made here. That's how we define local. Home Federal Bank, a better way.
Welcome back to Mesmer Stadium. Logansport has it 2nd and 19 at midfield. Pass is complete that time to Caden Packett, and Packett will pick up maybe 5 yards before he's brought down by a host of Flyers, Buzwitsky and Evan Lorette, amongst others. Third and 14. Flyer defense really looking good so far, John.
Yeah, I mean, they were a really nice play right there. The defensive end, Flyers defensive end, that was Buzwitsky again. He actually came out to you know, take him wide, and he turned inside, and he was still able to come back and
low snap. Kaysen's able to pick it up. He's under pressure, gets away from the Flyer, but he's going to finally be brought down. Chased down by Carter Doyle, who's made 2 big plays in this series. That'll bring up 4th and long in a punting situation for Logansport. John, I can't say enough about it. The start for the Flyer defense here, the Logansport Tigers hung nearly 50 points on 2A superpower Manny on the road last year. And so far, the Flyer defense, I mean, they can barely pick up a first down.
I will give Carter Doyle a lot of credit right there. That play was kind of a busted play, and so the quarterback could easily have gotten the first down if Carter does not stay at home. That play easily could have gone the other direction, and you could have gotten lost in the shuffle, but he did the right thing staying at home, and he was there to make that play.
Jeter makes the fair catch at the Flyers' 14-yard line, and that's where the Flyers will take over 1st and 10. Nice night tonight, John.
It's spectacular. We've been out here on all different types of weather situations. It's nice to come out here for a beautiful night.
You went to the game last week. You would think this is like another planet. Mason Drake with another nice run, picks up 8 up the middle.
Mason did a really nice job right there. He hit the hole correctly, but he had to make a little jump move to the left to avoid a defender, and really very nicely done, which allowed him to gain 2 or 3 more yards.
This time Restovich looks to throw. He looks downfield, thinks better of it. Now he lets it go. He's got a man, and that's going to be an interference call. Great job that time by Ben Brewer. He just slowed up just enough to let the Logansport man catch up and run through him. A veteran play that time by Ben Brewer.
Not only that, but let's just talk about Bryce Restovich right there. He stood in the pocket. What he was looking for initially wasn't there, but once he realized he could escape the pressure when he came up into the pocket, he realized that that's the chance to go deep, and that was the right decision in that situation, and he hung it up to get that pass interference call. I mean, really a heady play on Restovich's part.
Flower offensive line is doing a great job. We thought that they would be one of the strengths of the team coming into the season, and so far in this game, they really have been controlling the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that offensive line has logged a lot of games together. You're right, David. That is the strength of this team.
Again, Drake's going to take it up the middle. Drake breaks 1 tackle, crosses the 40 up to the 42. It'll be a gain of 5, make it 2nd and 5.
I really like that play right there. They motioned Hamilton in, and then they actually pulled. So you got a good block from Hamilton, and you got a good internal block as well to actually create that crease for Mason.
Actually, it was a 4-yard game, so make it 2nd and 6. Coach Sella signals in the play call. It's going to be a handoff to Mason Drake. And this time Logansport does a pretty good job of rallying to the football. Drake looks like he picked up a yard to set up a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, that was kind of a straight ahead play, so Logansport didn't have to kind of look around, see anybody in motion. I think that the Flyers have done a much better job when they've been using their motion to their advantage.
So Flyers need the 47. Restovich almost got him on the hard count there. Flyers going to Logansport brings both linebackers, and that pass is complete across the middle to the Logansport 45. Colby Hamilton with a great catch. Contested ball, and he came up with it.
Wow, I mean, a fantastic play by Colby Hamilton. And that ball was thrown right where it needed to be by Restovich, but still at that point, you know you might get a hit coming over the middle like that, and Colby didn't bother him a bit. He was going for the ball no matter what, and he and the defender both had possession for a second. He just wrestled it away. Outstanding play on his part.
So the Flyers are going to be content to take this one to the end of the first quarter. Your score here in Mesmer Stadium after 1, Loyola 7, Logansport 0. We're going to take it down to the sideline with Art Carmody.
Apologize for the audio difficulties early on. That's my fault. But after the first quarter, Flyers up 7-0. Just like we talked about in the pregame show, the key to tonight was trying to slow down Lacent and Bland, the great running back defensive end for Logansport. The Flyers have done that early on tonight. Great play calling by John Sella. The screen play to Mason Drake was wide open, taking advantage of the constant pressure that the Logansport defensive line is trying to bring. So the Flyers up 7-0 early with all the momentum going into the second quarter. David and John, back to you.
We're bringing it back. For more than 80 years, the Flyer Alumni Association was a great tradition at Loyola, and this year this great event will make its return. The barbecue will take place on Saturday, September 28th at the LCP Cafeteria, and it promises to be an event filled with good food, football, and Flyer pride. All proceeds from the event will go towards the Loyola Alumni Association to provide support for the school. The event begins at 6 o'clock, so come hungry. Just like the barbecue has always been, it's a great opportunity to renew old acquaintances and have a great time with those in the Loyola community. Tickets are $45 each and can be purchased at the door or online at the school website.
Start of the second quarter, Flyers have it 1st and 10 from their own 45. Restovich looks deep, has a man, incomplete. That was a really good pass that time. Looks like he wanted Jeter. Jeter got one hand on it, but just couldn't quite come down with it. Would have been a heck of a play.
Not only that, but I mean, right there, he had 3 layers that he could actually throw to. They had Colby Hamilton in the flats, and then they had a deeper receiver, and Jeter goes the deepest. Really, there was a nice throw. He made the right choice in there, and you have one-on-one coverage down there. Right choice.
Handoff goes to Mason Drake. And Drake picks up another 4 yards, make it 3rd and 6.
The Flyers did a nice job there of pulling the guard around and letting Mason kind of come inside of them. It's one of the Flyers' plays over the years, and Jack Ebarb's been that guy many times that you want to follow, and it's worked well for the Flyers for multiple years.
Third and 6. Jeter in motion. Handoff goes, no, he's going to pull it back and pass to Jeter. Jeter's got a first down, but there is a flag on the Loyola sideline. Looks like this one may be coming back. Coach Lewis is
I'm imagining illegal motion.
A little upset, so you got to figure this is going against Loyola. Looks like the entire Loyola coaching staff is out pleading their case to the near side official, but to no avail. This one is going to come back.
What's interesting, I mean, they had multiple coaches trying to question that call. I didn't see what he saw, but that was a well-designed play right there to sneak Brock Jeter in, make the play over the middle, make it look like you're going to the outside, and then throwing back to the inside. Really a well-designed play.
So after the penalty, it's 3rd and 11. 11 minutes to go here in the first half. Flyers lead it 7-0. Jeter's going to keep it. Pass complete. Black on the reception for the Flyers, but that's not going to be
another
nearly
flag,
enough
David.
for a first down. But there is a very, very late flag. Wow, John, I'd like to know the total for penalties in this game so far. We're not keeping up with that stat, but it's got to be way up there.
I see one of the Logansport coaches about 15 yards off of the sidelines. I imagine this has got to be on the defense. And they look like they're replacing players. So. And no, they're walking it back against Loyola. Interesting.
Personal foul against the Flyers. Well, whatever it was, we didn't see it, so we'll just have to take their word for it, I guess. But the second penalty in this possession is now going to take the ball all the way back to the Flyer 42. So after crossing midfield, the Flyers have gone all the way back to their own 42, and they will punt from here. Logansport stands on their own 27-yard line. High snap. Good job corralling that. Ball's going to check up there at the 40. And that's where the Flyers will down it.
You know, although that punt wasn't that long, as you said, he did a very good job of getting rid of that football. That easily could have been blocked, and there were 3 Logansport defenders that were closing in on the punter. So, you know, credit him for getting that ball down the field. Flyers really need to be watching their penalties, though. They are hurting themselves, especially dead ball, personal foul penalties. That's 15 yards that could have been added to that punt.
Kayson's pass, incomplete. He wanted Carter out of the backfield, but threw it a little bit behind him, and Carter couldn't hang on, make it 2nd and 10. It's Future Flyer Night here tonight at Messmer Stadium. Loyola welcomes all their middle feeder schools to Messmer for tonight's football game. It's great having all the future Flyers here at the Loyola Athletic Complex. Little pop pass that time to Carter, and Carter, who's been a busy man here in the first half, will pick up about 7 yards on that one and make it 3rd down and 3.
It looks like Coach Sella wants to know about the same type of call as far as motion goes against Logansport, and the officials want no part of it right at this point.
Interesting that we've seen a lot of Carter, but not so much of Bland so far in this game, John. Bland seemed to kind of be their guy last week at Manning.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see more and more of him as the game progresses.
Direct snap. The big fella in the backfield. See who that is. That looks like, I can't tell the number 0. That's Lee Wilson. Nose guard and fullback, John. Might want to put that one back to the back of the playbook if you're Coach McGee.
It's like send it to Ironhead Hayward. Nothing wrong with that now. Worked well for the Steelers for many years. But really a nice play by number 22, Grayson Nunn. For the Flyers, coming up from the safety position to corralling. Walking up back. Now he's backing up. The Flyers, of course, need to be paying attention to all these short 4th down situations.
You get the feeling that punter's got the option to take off and run with that if he sees a hole, the way that he takes so many steps.
He might have had it right there, too. As he came up, it was well blocked on the outside. As he came up, I think you're exactly right. He had the decision. He might have been able to get the 1st down out of that.
So the punt will roll out of bounds at the Flyer 22. Flyer offense has looked good in spurts so far in the first half, John. They just have had so many penalties that have set them back. They can't, other than the long Mason Drake touchdown reception, just really can't get anything going. They keep shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be frustrating because you could see that the plays, they've got some plays that are working, but they just keep, they've got to have 50 yards of penalties at this point.
Restovich is going to throw. He's got a wide open man. That's Hamilton again across the middle up to the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 8. Make it 2nd and 2.
Again, a very nice play right there. It is a simple little throw right there, but that's the right place to go against that defense. And like we talked about before, Colby's not afraid to go over the middle. I mean, he's got a big frame, and he has certainly put on some muscle over the last year, too. I mean, he looks the part.
Well, they list him at 6'4", 216, so. Handoff goes to Drake, and Drake will get piled up right at the line of scrimmage. Good job by Logansport filling the gap that time, make it 3rd and 2.
But I like the way they've done this, a conservative pass play to get you 4, 5, 6, 7 yards, and then kind of coming back with your running game. I mean, leaving yourself in 3rd and short is what we've kind of seen the Flyers been able to do. They just got to get their 1st downs.
3rd and 2. 7:27 left in the first half. Flyers lead it 7-0. David Winkler, John Carmody, and Art Carmody down on the sideline. We'd like to get you another Art Carmody report right here 'cause that means we scored. But not going to happen on this possession, as the Flyers are stuffed in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 3 yards, and the Flyer punt team will come onto the field.
Yeah, Logansport played that really well. I mean, they just blew the play up from the middle and just blew Wyatt Lofton back from that center position. I mean, that's a tough situation right there. So, again, that's something that you're going to have to be thinking about later on in the game, how they set themselves up for those third and short situations and try to take advantage of something either on the outside or past the linebackers. We got an offsides call on the punt.
So the call's offsides against Logansport, and boy, that'll give them a 4th and 1. Woo, you've got to be tempting if you're Coach Sella right here. But with a 7-0 lead and your defense doing a good job, it would be a bit of a gamble. And they are going to punt it away. And Carter Ward does a good job of directional punting out of bounds. It'll go across midfield and finally roll out at the Logansport 42. And that's where the Tigers will take over.
Again, I like that directional punt. But the Flyers, through their penalties, are just losing little bits of yardage. Logansport's starting a little bit further down the field each time. And so, again, I mean, you've got to clean those little things up and get drives to go down. You don't want to be giving Logansport this short a field all the time.
Another flag on the play. Offside. No, they're going to say, looks like he lined up offside. Illegal motion against Logansport. He first signaled offsides. I thought he was saying the offensive man lined up offsides. Now he called it illegal motion. So the 5-yard penalty will push him back to the 37 and make it 1st and 15 as the Yellow Hankies continue to fly at a breakneck pace. Got to say, a lot of flags have flown, John, but they've gone both ways.
They have.
The Flyers have picked up a lot, and so have the Tigers.
And you might expect that early in the season. There's going to be plenty of film for people to look at.
1st and 15. Kayson's going to hand off inside again to Carter. And again, the Flyer defense does a great job. Great job that time by Ebarb, who stuffed the gap.
That's exactly what he did, David. I mean, again, they are wanting to go inside, and that is not an easy thing for a defensive tackle to do that. And defensive end to do that. He did a great job.
All right, so your mandatory water break is upon us. 7:58 left here in the first half. Flyers lead at 7-0. You're watching Flyer football on LCP TV.
The annual Loyola Style Show and Luncheon will be held Wednesday, November 13th at the Bossier Civic Center. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the show begins at 11:30. Sponsored by the Parents Association, the Style Show is a long-standing tradition at Loyola that celebrates the senior class. Loyola seniors will take the stage for the main show, where groups model clothes from local stores in addition to the Senior Walk and the Alumni Walk. All Flyer alumni and future Flyers are invited to join in the fun. With special seating available for each group, the Style Show is a great way to reconnect with old friends and meet new ones. The three-pointers will be flying all over the Loyola gym when the annual alumni basketball game takes place on Saturday, January 4th. There's a rumor that
Second down, 13. Go the Tigers, trailing 7-0 with 6 minutes left here in the first half. And again, Kayson's pass, one hop to his receiver. That's been kind of a repeating theme every time the Tigers drive back to pass tonight, John.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, Logansport has been throwing these mid-range passes, against the Flyer defense. They must see something. They have not been throwing shallow at all, and so they must think that they can get down to that 10 to 15-yard mark. I mean, on 2nd and 13, I mean, that was kind of an aggressive call.
So here we are with a 3rd and long, and the Flyer defense with another great opportunity to get the ball back with 5.5 minutes left. Kayson looks at though. He puts some air under this one. This might get picked off. And it's not picked off, but great job defensively by Carter Ward. Carter Ward got up and got 2 hands on it and knocked that ball down exactly like he should. And the Flyers will get that ball back with 5:49 left here in the first.
Yeah, he did a nice job of playing the ball. He turned and played the ball. And it really, the wide receiver basically had to keep Carter from actually intercepting the ball. He had to basically play defense. So really a nice job of not putting yourself in a situation to get a pass interference call.
Brock Jeter stands on the Flyer 30. Flyers almost got a hand on that one. They're just going to let that one roll dead. I'll tell you what, that was Tyler Moore who got in there and was about 1 forearm length away from getting a hand on that.
Yeah, and he stayed disciplined too. He didn't go and hit him after the fact, even though they're coming up. And you that's a judgment call, very quick on whether or not he's going to take off or kick the ball. So you really have to kind of let up and make sure that you're not running into him after he kicks it.
First down, Flyers from the 26. Got about 5.5 minutes to work with, and if memory serves, all 3 timeouts. Jeter is going to let this one go. He's got a man complete on the right sideline. That's Jake Black. He's going to have a first down at the 36, and the Flyers are in business.
Again, a very nice, safe call, one-on-one coverage out there. The ball's delivered as soon as Jake Black's actually turning. So, really nice job by Bryce Restovich to deliver the football.
Restovich lets that one go to Drake, and unfortunately Drake is met by about 4 Tigers in the backfield, and that's going to be a loss of 4 right there.
Yeah, that's the one that you want to read. That that right there, if Bryce would have actually held the ball on that RPO, he had all kinds of room on the right side because everybody went with the handoff right there. So, again, I'm sure that coaches saw it, and I'm sure that they may come back to that same thing. But they've run that same play a couple times and stuffed Mason in the backfield. So, you got to think that the quarterback's coming around the end at some point.
2nd and 14. This time Restovich is going to throw. He wanted Ben Brewer, but that one's just a little bit over his head. Make it 3rd and 14.
Yeah, it looked like he was throwing to a spot right there that either they were crossed up on what that route was supposed to be, because as he stood and threw that ball, he was anticipating him being somewhere. That was really, again, we talked about the offensive line. They did an outstanding job of giving Bryce Restovich time to throw that ball. And so I just think that the quarterback and receiver weren't exactly on the same page. But, again, that's single coverage there deep. There's nothing wrong with that call.
3rd and 14, Flyers need the 46. Restovich pass is complete. Little bubble screen out to the right. That's Jake Black, and Jake Black will get it across midfield down to the Logansport 47. First down, Flyers
you cannot run that wide receiver screen without your offensive line doing an outstanding job of getting out there and creating that seam. That seam was created by the right offensive line. An outstanding job to get out there and make those blocks.
Flyers do come quickly to the line of scrimmage. Want to get a play off quick here. Hand off to Drake. And Drake's going to be brought down after a gain of about 1.
Yeah, it may only been 1 yard right there, but Mason hit that hole the way he should. There wasn't a lot of space in there, so you can't really dance around. You have got to go and get what you can out of it.
4 minutes left. Flyers still have all 3 timeouts. 2nd and 9. Flyers still lead it 7-0. Frankly, probably could be a little bit more than that, but for some unfortunate penalties.
Well, I mean, that's why you know well as I do that, second score is really important.
Restovich looks to throw. He looks over the middle, decides to take it and run. He's got some room around the right, takes a hit and gets out of bounds at the 39-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 7. Instead of 3rd and short, looks like 3rd and 1.
I really like that play call. I don't know how much that was actually designed or Bryce actually read how quickly that the defensive end came up and created that seam for him. Either way, that was the right call, and he got good yardage out of it.
Let's call it 3rd and 2. You almost wonder whether this might be 4-down territory here, as long as they don't lose any yardage on this play.
Especially as you get closer to 2 minutes, The
defense playing the way it has. Restovich pass is incomplete. He short-hopped it. He had a man there for a second, Jake Black, but just couldn't quite get it up to the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first.
Let's see what they do here.
That's the first poor throw we've seen tonight. I mean, that was again a very nice play call. Go down there, get 4 yards, and have the ball delivered to you.
So as predicted, the Flyers are going to keep it. 4th down, 4th and 2, going for it here. Big play here in the first half. Coach Sella trusting his offense and, more importantly, trusting in his defense right here, who's played really well. Restovich passes. Let's see if he held on. He did. Complete across the the 35 to the 34. That's going to be a gain of 5 and a first down for the Flyers.
I like it. Okay, they saw what they liked right there, went basically back to the same exact play. Get you 4 yards, 5 yards, and throw it in there, and Restovich put it right where he was supposed to this time.
Jake Black, a busy man right now for the Flyers. 3 minutes left. Restovich looks downfield, and that pass is complete. This time he goes to number 3. That's Ben Brewer. But they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Still a great play right there. That's 23 yards on the pitch and catch from Restovich to Brewer. And that'll set up 1st and 10 from the 11, just outside.
I mean, really, the perfect call on that play. They had a safety blitz coming right up the middle of the defense. It was a perfect call to be rolling him out. And really, he had both options, but Brewer was so open, really, and he got the ball delivered to him so he could turn up the field.
Mason Drake's going to take this one, and after a really good start in the first quarter, Logansport has done a much better job corralling the Flyer running game here in the second quarter. Drake dropped for a loss of 1 there.
Yeah, I mean, that play right there needed to really go just inside. And so Mason kind of got outside where the defender had actually been blocked out too. He actually had a hole inside of that.
So 2nd and 11, Flyers can get a first down at the 1-yard line. Flyers in no hurry. Looks like they're just going to let the play clock run down and call timeout, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Late here in the first half, Flyers lead at 7-0, but they're threatening. You're watching Flyer Football on LCP TV. Welcome back. 1:58 left here in the first half. Flyers have it 2nd and 11. They can get a first down at the 1-yard line.
I want to make a point, David, how important that coaching decision was to take that timeout right there. I don't know what the result of this play is going to be, but really a well-timed, get your play right.
Jeter takes the handoff, and he may get back to the original line of scrimmage, but that's it. Looks like I'm waiting to see if Logansport chooses to take a timeout to stop the clock here, save them a little time, but doesn't look like it.
I don't mind that call at all. I mean, you're taking Brock Jeter to the wide side of the field right there, giving him a chance. Again, you're using your motion, seeing how Logansport responds to it. Logansport did a very good job at that time following the motion. Flyers found some success earlier watching Logansport go with the motion and going backside on it.
Oh, the double pass! Complete! Touchdown! Flyers! But they're going to throw a flag. Let's see. It was Restovich to Jeter. I believe that was Drake. They're going to call an illegal forward pass, but they say Jeter was in front of Restovich? I don't know, John. Great play call. They dialed up a beautiful play right there. Wow. And I'm telling you, you almost wonder whether the officials' affinity for throwing flags tonight may have caught up with them right there.
Yeah, that one is one that's going to be watched over and over again. I sure hope that is a good call, because that's one you send to the office.
Let's see. Note to the production team. Year 13, we need instant replay. Your broadcast team requests instant replay.
Oh, goodness gracious. But I do like the creativity of the play calling there. Really well done.
So timeout there. The touchdown comes off the board. Great play, great call. And it looks like we're going to end up with a Lorette field goal attempt here when it's all said and done. And, you kind of wonder whether Coach Sello, that kind of wasn't what he was thinking all along. He's got a good kicker in Evan Lorette, and he's going to have a very makeable field goal, well within his legs, distance, ability. And you got to figure a 2-score game here at the end of the first half, and you feel pretty good if you're a Flyer fan the way your defense is playing.
Definitely. I mean, this kick is huge. Getting a 2-score lead is absolutely crucial in this situation, and that's what that, going not only the touchdown being called back, but the penalty adding to the difficulty of this kick. I mean, that's the thing that the Flyers really have to be mindful of.
So it'll be a 38-yard attempt. Evan Lorette. No wind whatsoever to speak of. And the kick is up, and it is no good, just a fraction left, John. Good kick, though, plenty of distance.
He definitely did. That's one of the things we watched Evan, kind of grow, and he's been kicking for a while. And it's good to see the strength in his leg improving year to year to year. And I'm not surprised. But again, I mean, there are not many times that they're kicking away. You know, Jacob Lafitte, maybe the last one they let kick away to start a game, and to let him kick, but you can see it right there. I mean, that had plenty of distance to it. So, you know, I'm happy for Evan to be seeing how strong his leg is, and hopefully we're going to see good things. I mean, as we go along.
So the Flyer defense, who's done a great job for 29 minutes here, can ill afford to let this thing get tied up with 60 seconds left. Another flag on the play. And there's also a Flyer down at the 29-yard line. I cannot tell who that is. Hope they're okay, whoever that is. Let's see if we can get a number. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching Flyer Football on LCP TV.
You came home from work with a migraine. Your son has a sore throat on a Saturday. You need care right now. Christus Health has affordable, convenient, on-demand care because you don't always get sick during doctor's hours. Help is in the palm of your hand. You can reach our clinicians within 20 minutes from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Visits for residents of Texas and Louisiana over age 5 cost $30. Christus Health, on demand, because we're here for you wherever here is.
On the play is Grayson Nunn, and he looks like he's holding his left wrist, so we hope Grayson's okay, and we'll see him back again soon. 58 seconds left here in the first half. Logansport has the ball on their own 34, trail it 7-0 to the Flyers. The pitch is going to go to Carter, and Carter will get it around the left side, but he's not going to make it out of bounds, and that's big for the Flyer defense. He'll get it up to the, looks like they're going to mark him at the 44-yard line, so he's going to be about a yard short, but more importantly, that's going to keep the clock running. Again, the handoff goes to Carter, and he's just blown up at the line. Looks like they gave him the first down, but big play by Carter Doyle that time coming in, and it looks like Carter may even be worse for the wear right there after the tackle. We hope he's okay.
Really do hope he's okay. I mean, that's the kind of play, like you said, that kind of got blown up right there. Outstanding play on Carter Doyle's part. And, you know, Carter Doyle, we've seen him, you know, hit with some tenacity over the years, and that was a pretty good hit right there.
So with Carter leaving the game, and it looks like he's okay. He's just kind of looks a little wobbly, but looks like we may see Tenashton Bland or not. Let's see. And yes, looks like Bland is going to come in now. We kind of wondered why we haven't seen more of him, so it may be a good thing or a bad thing for the Flyers that he's entering the game at this point. We shall see.
Yeah, and you know, again, with 24 seconds, you're at midfield. I've never known Logansport to have a big kicking game, so you know, I think they're having to look 40 to 50 yards down the field. So you know, you might be thinking that you're going to be looking at a screen here. You know, something quick to try to get up the field. You know, trying to catch the Flyers sleeping.
Well, even deep in their own territory with less than a minute to go, they have not abandoned their running game. They know who they are. So 24 seconds left. Logansport has a fresh set of downs at their own 44. And Caison's going to look to throw, and that pass again is going to be one hopped. Looks like he wanted Jordan Michelle.
Again, that's kind of a deep end right there. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. These plays, take a little bit of time, and it's a relatively long throw, so it's one of those things you can understand why the coach is upset. You want to try to complete those things, but I really haven't seen Logansport do a lot of short passes. It's all been kind of more intermediate and long.
12 seconds. The Tigers probably have time for maybe this play, maybe one more. Pass over the middle. This time is complete. The pass complete to Hunter Martin.
Another flag down, David.
And there's another flag, though, so let's hope that this isn't going to extend the
I think it's
possession.
Holding. I believe it's holding from where they threw it.
Holding is the call with 2 seconds left on the clock. The clock should start as soon as the ball is set here. So let's see if they can get one off. The scoreboard says they have 2 timeouts. It looks like they're going to use one right here. So timeout Logansport, 2 seconds left. Flyers lead at 7-0. One more play to go in the first half. You're watching Flyer football on LCP TV. Welcome back. 2 seconds left. Logansport. If you got a trick play, this would be the time. Looks like it's going to be Cason throwing the ball out to the left flats, and the Flyers are all over that at the 42. And that'll be the end of the first half. Your score here at Messmer Stadium. Oh no! Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold the truck. Another flag. Let's see what that one is. Hold on, Flyers. I hope we're not coming back out for another play here. Let's see. The Flyers seem content that this is on Logansport.
I believe it was a dead ball.
Okay. Let's see.
And I believe it's going to be another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against one of the 2 teams. But if this is the Flyers, this is 3.
Yeah. So unsportsmanlike against the Flyers. That'll be the end of the first half. So, like I was saying, your score here from Esper, into 1. Flyers lead at 7-0. We're going to go down to the sidelines with Art Carmody and Coach Sella.
You came home from work with a migraine. Your son has a sore throat on a Saturday. You need care right now. Christus Health has affordable, convenient, on-demand care because you don't always get sick during doctor's hours. Help is in the palm of your hand. You can reach our clinicians within 20 minutes from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Visits for residents of Texas and Louisiana over age 5 cost $30. Christus Health, on demand, because we're here for you wherever here is.
Here with Coach John Sella. Coach, Logansport scored 46 points last week. Your defense has bottled them up here in the first half. What's been the keys to that success?
Stopping the run and squeezing down and then spilling it to our linebackers. I told Fletcher earlier in the week that I was excited. Well, he asked what I was most excited about. I said our defense, honestly, because Logansport's good.
And then offensively, Restovich has looked comfortable back there. Great play calling on the screen pass. What are you looking to do in the second half?
Just taking what they give us, and right now they're giving us those kind of short passes, and we can just kind of nickel and dime it and maybe hit one deep. But we got to establish a run game, and it's just penalties. When there's penalties like this, there's no rhythm to the game, and especially with us, and because they get them too, and even when both teams are getting lots of penalties, like I said, there's no rhythm. I can't get a rhythm in the play calling, and so it's kind of clunky, and so we got to get no more penalties and just got a rhythm going.
Thanks, Coach.
The annual Loyola Style Show and Luncheon will be held Wednesday, November 13th at the Bossier Civic Center. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the show begins at 11:30. Sponsored by the Parents Association, the Style Show is a long-standing tradition at Loyola that celebrates the senior class. Loyola seniors will take the stage for the main show, where groups model clothes from local stores in addition to the Senior Walk and the Alumni Walk. All Flyer alumni and future Flyers are invited to join in the fun. With special seating available for each group, the Style Show is a great way to reconnect with old friends and meet new ones. The three-pointers will be flying all over the Loyola gym when the annual alumni basketball game takes place on Saturday, January 4th. There's a rumor that some defense might actually be played, so you won't want to miss out on playing in this game. In recent years, we've had players from at least 6 decades lace up the sneakers and give it their best shot. It's a fun way to spend a Saturday showing off your skills on the hard court. This is a fundraiser for the basketball program, and you can play as much or as little as you like. If you're a former Flyer basketball player, we'd love to have you join us. Contact head coach Ben Schonfarber at the school if you'd like to participate.
Welcome back to the LCP TV halftime show. A surprise this year. We're going to be joined at halftime of each home game with one of the most decorated coaches in Shreveport, Bossier high school football history, Coach Mike Green. Coach, glad to have you.
Thank you. Must not be a lot of coaches out there. Thank you for the compliment, though. Thank you.
So, talking to Coach Sella, Logansport, a power in 1A. They scored 46 points last week, shut down a pretty good Manny team. But so far tonight, the Flyers' defense has bottled up Logansport's offense and then taking what the defense is giving them. What have you seen so far in the first half?
Let me tell you what, I was really worried this week, and watching them on film, we played great. Our guys, selling them, I know, get them in there and get them rested a little bit, but they have, and I still think that was a touchdown. I can't wait to see whether he was really back behind, but they can't ask for any more. I would be tickled right now. Now it's just don't get too tired. They're getting worn down a little bit because we're hitting them. I'm very excited for our guys.
And Coach Sella mentioned this when we were interviewing him. A lot of penalties tonight. A lot of extracurricular penalties, as we like to call them. What are you telling your guys back in your coaching days? What are you telling them now at halftime to try to maybe – you want to keep the momentum going and keep the excitement and the momentum that's built in the first half, but to temper it down a little bit?
Well, and here's the deal. Last week was a heartbreaker. This week at practice, you amp it up and you want them angry. You want that. So you got to be careful with that because you're playing well. You don't want to do something stupid, but you don't want to bring them back. And it was a heartbreaker last week, so I'm sure this week they were getting it. So that's one of those deals you got to, and if you look, every year that second game, there's always some penalties because you lose that first one, that week of practice you're getting after it. And so, and I'm excited. I mean, you never want a dirty hit or a late hit, but a bang, bang deal. It's an ugly game sometimes, and if you're flying through the air, it's hard to put the brakes on sometimes. But, yeah, you're very careful with that because you still want them fired up, but you also don't want to do anything really stupid.
So what you're saying is you coached this up in your coaching tenure. You coached up the late hit penalties?
No, not late hits, but and we always told them, when you hear the whistle, you stop. But some of them we put cotton in their ears sometimes. But no, that was the whole deal. Whistle. And I remember telling officials a lot, blow the dang whistle. We're trained to stop on the whistle. You don't stop because that guy might not have hit the ground. You're still going. Blow the whistle and we'll stop. I promise you. So that's a lot of times you're saying blow the whistle and we'll quit. So.
And Coach Sella, he's been here a long time. He obviously coached under you. Filled in during the COVID year that we all kind of forget that when you were out, and we did a phenomenal job. Yeah. What have you seen from his growth from being an assistant coach, offensive coordinator, now being the head guy?
Let me tell you he was ready. He's been ready. Even when I was at Airline in Fair Park, I knew him when he was at Shreve and so. He's so knowledgeable. Sometimes people think because he's quiet and he picks his times to get upset, which is good. I mean, he's very under control. I think he's doing a wonderful job. I'm excited for him, and I want this win bad for the team, but it'll help him because he is such a good guy, good coach.
And Coach, you stepped down as head coach. What's life been like for you this past year?
Well, I tell you, the bottom of my feet aren't burning from the turf out here at 110 degrees. I love it, and I just got to find something to compete at because, and you're an athlete, you always want something. I've either got to get into golf, pickleball, something, checkers, got to do something and I just got to find something to do.
And second half is about to start. What are you looking for the Flyers in the second half?
I tell you what, I think they're moving a little bit. I keep doing everything they're doing and just keep tackling them. I'm telling you, they're slowing down a little bit. They're in a bind right now. If we'll just keep doing like we're doing, it'll be 14-0 here in a little bit.
Thanks, Coach. We're looking forward to having you on each halftime during the home schedule. Thanks for watching the LCP TV halftime show. Get ready for an exciting second half. We'll send it back to David and John in a second.
You came home from work with a migraine. Your son has a sore throat on a Saturday. You need care right now. Christus Health has affordable, convenient, on-demand care because you don't always get sick during doctor's hours. Help is in the palm of your hand. You can reach our clinicians within 20 minutes from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Visits for residents of Texas and Louisiana over age 5 cost $30. Christus Health, on demand, because we're here for you wherever here is.
The annual Loyola Style Show and Luncheon will be held Wednesday, November 13th at the Bossier Civic Center. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the show begins at 11:30. Sponsored by the Parents Association, the Style Show is a long-standing tradition at Loyola that celebrates the senior class. Loyola seniors will take the stage for the main show, where groups model clothes from local stores in addition to the Senior Walk and the Alumni Walk. All Flyer alumni and future Flyers are invited to join in the fun. With special seating available for each group, the Style Show is a great way to reconnect with old friends and meet new ones.
Homecoming court is just around the corner, which means we have some new royalty on campus. Here's how our 2024 homecoming court feels about being chosen.
I'm really excited to be on homecoming court. I had no idea I'd be picked, but I'm really grateful to be on it. I think it'll be a fun week. It's been fun looking for dresses and planning tees and things.
This is my first year on homecoming court, and I'm super excited to be a senior maid. It's been so much fun shopping for all my outfits, and I can't wait for the football game.
So being in homecoming court is something I never thought that I would be a part of because I've just never been that type of person to be in really big school activities like that. But overall, I'm pretty excited, but also pretty nervous because it's just I'll be in front of everybody and, just overwhelmed. But so far, I have 2 dresses. I have my suit and I have my pep rally / tea party dress, which are really pretty in my opinion.
Thank you to everyone who voted. We can't wait to see you cross the field. That's all for me. This has been Peyton Lewis.
bringing it back. For more than 80 years, the Flyer Alumni Association was a great tradition at Loyola, and this year, this great event will make its return. The barbecue will take place on Saturday, September 28th at the LCP Cafeteria, and it promises to be an event filled with good food, football, and Flyer pride. All proceeds from the event will go towards the Loyola Alumni Association to provide support for the school. The event begins at 6 o'clock, so come hungry. Just like the barbecue has always been, it's a great opportunity to renew old acquaintances and have a great time with those in the Loyola community. Tickets are $45 each and can be purchased at the door or online at the school website. The three-pointers will be flying all over the Loyola gym when the annual alumni basketball game takes place on Saturday, January 4th. There's a rumor that some defense might actually be played, so you won't want to miss out on playing in this game. In recent years, we've had players from at least 6 decades lace up the sneakers and give it their best shot. It's a fun way to spend a Saturday showing off your skills on the hard court. This is a fundraiser for the basketball program, and you can play as much or as little as you like. If you're a former Flyer basketball player, we'd love to have you join us. Contact head coach Ben Schonfarber at the school if you'd like to participate.
Welcome back to Mesmer Stadium. About a minute and a half left before we get the second half kicked off. Run down a couple of pertinent stats for you. As soon as I can get my technical situation lined up here. All right. So Bryce Restovich, certainly of all the Flyers, John, is probably enjoying tonight's weather a little more than everybody else, because unlike last week where he probably had a hard time even getting the ball out of his hands without it slipping, tonight he got a perfect night and he's really taking advantage of it. 10 for 12, 152 yards, including a 52-yard touchdown throw to Mason Drake. Drake also has 9 carries for 20 yards on the ground. Got off to a nice start early in the game, but Logansport's done a better job as the game wore on in corralling Mason. On Logansport's side, really not much to speak about. The main ball carrier has been Jacaden Carter, and he really hasn't done a whole lot. The Flyer defense has done a really nice job corralling the Logansport run game. So, John, second half coming up here. What do you expect to see out of both of these teams?
Well, you said it well, David. I mean, the Flyers are not just this pound the football down the field type of team. So in order to move the football, you have to be efficient. Your plays need to be efficient. They need to have positive yards. You don't want to give up negative yards, and you don't want a lot of incompletions, and certainly don't want any interceptions. And so it takes really timing and precision, and that is the one thing about Bryce Restovich we've seen in this first half. His balls have been on the money, and he's put them right where they needed to be. And the other thing that is interesting is he has used 4 to 5 to 6 different wide receivers. And so there's not one person for a defensive staff to look at and say, oh, well, we got to kind of stop that guy. They've thrown it all over the field. He's thrown intermediate passes. He's thrown the short passes, and they've taken their chances going deep. And, of course, benefited from a pass interference call on one of those plays, and nearly had a reception on the sideline to Brock Jeter. So I really like the way that they are schematically playing this game. And, the Flyers, I think, have benefited, like I said early on, about using a lot of motion and making Logansport respect what they're doing with the motion individual. I think they've had some of their best runs motioning Colby Hamilton in to help as an added blocker. And so I would look to see more of that. I think that those things in the coaching staff probably are going to stand out and realize that's what's giving Logansport more trouble.
Well, Coach Sell really has to be happy with his defense. This is now the second game in a row where his defense has really, stepped up to the plate, done a great job giving his team a chance to win. They only allowed 1 score in the first game versus St. Frederick. So far, they've put zeros on the board tonight. So if he can continue to get this kind of output from his defensive side of the ball, he can allow Restovich to kind of grow up a little more slowly, would not have to throw him to the fire winging the ball 35, 40 times a game. He can let that run game burn a little clock and throw on his terms. And that's exactly what you want with a young quarterback.
And defensively, we've known some of these names. Yep. I mean, Jack Ebar's been around for a while. Carter Ward's been around for a while. Carter Doyle has been around for a while. Hayden Horton's been around for a while. So there are some guys that have experience, and we've seen them play, very well. It's the kids that have come in to fill those other spots that really have been very impressive so far. And like you said, I mean, I haven't seen a weak aspect of our defense position-wise yet. And we've seen some outstanding plays by Alex Mitchell making backside plays. And so these are the kind of things that you want. You want to see kids rise to the occasion, fill these positions, learn how to play it quickly, be disciplined, and then you can try to do what you need to do defensively as a defensive coordinator.
All right, about ready to kick it off here in the second half. It's actually gotten a little warmer since halftime, or it certainly feels a little warmer. There is no breeze whatsoever. It's a little stuffy here on a mid-September night. Friday the 13th. Let's hope nothing spooky happens to the Flyers and they can close out this game in the second half.
Evan Learett may have said that there was a little bit of a breeze that maybe pushed the ball left when it should have gone through the uprights. Maybe there was a gentle breeze that was.
So if you'll remember, there was a penalty on the Flyers to end the first half, and so that's going to lead to this kickoff spot for Logansport. They're going to kick off from the Flyer 45-yard line.
This they really need to watch an onside kick.
It looks like they're going to set up for an onside kick.
Absolutely.
Right here.
Wouldn't you? And so
the Flyers are
really ready.
Let's see if they're ready for it. And they got all their men up, and good job that time by Michael Mitchell, the special teams coach, having his team well prepared and well scouted for that. That was Hayden Horton who fell on that one for the Flyers, and they'll take over 1st and 10 from their own 26.
To have a personal foul penalty at the end of the half to allow them to kick off from where they kicked off to start at the 26, that's not a bad result.
Mason Drake's going to open the second half with a nice carry up to the 35-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play.
I really like the way Mason hit that hole and then accelerated once he got past the hole. Really, that's what he does well.
Flyers quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Drake takes a handoff, and boy, is he met hard that time. That was Tanashton Bland who came flying in there and hit Drake in the backfield, and now we're going to get an unsportsmanlike against Logansport. You can only imagine. Didn't see anything physical there, so you got to imagine there was something said after that hit by somebody on the wearing white.
Well, that's the kind of hit that you expect somebody to say something. So you want to say that under your breath. You don't want to say it loud enough for the head umpire to hear you.
So after the penalty, the Flyers will now have it close to midfield, 1st and 10 from their own 48. Jeter looking deep. He's got a man. That pass is incomplete. He wanted Jake Black. Just a little bit over his shoulder that time. Black got turned around. Might have even lost that one in the light.
I mean, I think the defensive back played it pretty well too, but I really like that throw. That throw was, again, right where you needed it to be to give your wide receiver a chance in a one-on-one situation. Very safe throw. Cornerback's going to have a hard time trying to pick that ball off. with that angle, and so I really like them attacking the corner like that.
So 2nd down and 10. Good job by Restovich picking that one up off the ground and completes it down to the 46-yard line. Looks like that is to Jeter. And Brock Jeter makes a nice sliding grab to set the Flyers up with a 3rd and 4 on a play that easily could have been negative yardage had Restovich not done such a good job fielding that ball off the ground.
Yeah, an outstanding job by him of reading the pressure and escaping to his right. And Brock was actually coming back to his left, so Brock had to make a really outstanding diving catch with the ball going away from him.
Again, the snap is low. Restovich corrals that one, and he throws to his big man, Colby Hamilton. He's going to be really close to a 1st down, and the near side official says, move the chains. 1st down, Flyers. 4 yards to Colby Hamilton from Restovich.
And you cannot overstate how important to have that big body in the middle of the field has been. I mean, that he has moved the chains for the Flyers 2 or 3 times in this game. And again, I mean, he stretched out to get that 1st down. Outstanding job by Colby one more time.
Restovich in a rhythm now. He looks downfield, got another man, passes complete. That's Ben Brewer. Ben Brewer down to the 29-yard line. That's a gain of 13 and another Flyer 1st down.
We saw that same play earlier when they were rolling out left and went to Brewer, and he almost turned it up and scored on it. Really, again, I like the play call, and again, it's a good safe throw. It's a one-on-one coverage, and Bryce Restovich has put the ball on the money almost every throw.
Restovich drops straight back to Mason Drake, and Mason Drake, he's going to have his 2nd touchdown of the night unless this penalty is against the Flyers. 2 flags on the play now.
They're both going to be holds against the Flyers.
Great play, great play call, and executed perfectly, but it looks like maybe too perfectly, John.
They really were, and I tell you, it was blocked well. They just didn't need to hold their blocks that long. And again, that's a hard one because, you know, you look at the film with your players and you I love the effort. I really love the effort. And it's hard to sit there and get on them with an effort play like that. But down the second holding call was even more egregious, if you will. Anybody was holding on to it for 5, 6, 7 seconds of that play. But again, you know, you gotta let up at some point. But I really like the aggressiveness.
So 1st and 15 now for the Flyers. 9 minutes, 30 seconds left here in the 3rd. Flyers lead at 7-0. Looking for that all-important 2-score lead.
But again, another penalty that's changing the way a series goes.
Restovich is going to look downfield, and pass is going to be incomplete. He wanted Jeter, but the pass was broken up nice that time by Jacaden Carter. Good to see Carter back in the game for the Tigers. He left in the 1st half briefly.
I tell you what, I mean, again, that play, you know, Brock is open. Bryce threw a good ball low, you know, not going to be picked off. But right there, if they run the receivers a little deeper and they're rolling out, Bryce has room to actually run 10 or 15 yards too. And so, you know, I hope that they see that and look at that as they come down further down this game.
So 2nd and 15. Restovich again, they go to that bubble screen that worked so well in the 1st half to Jake Black, but not this time. Logansport sniffed that one out, and it'll draw Black for a loss of about 2 yards.
And that is the difference right there, whether or not you're able to get your lineman out there to get those blocks or not. And, you know, they did a good job of kind of bringing the defense in to them, but neither one of the offensive linemen were able to get out there to get their blocks. And so, you know, if you can't get it, then that play can go nowhere.
the Flyers need the 18 of Logansport for a fresh set of downs. And Jeter's going to pump. He's going to keep. He's got a man wide open. Oh, he had a man, but Jeter wasn't able to hang on. Ooh, he may have nightmares about that one tonight. So that'll bring up 4th and 17. And let's see if we'll get a long field goal or a punt here, John.
I really like that play call.
Yeah, and he was wide open.
I would be going back to Brock Jeter later on in this game because
and look at Daddy Jeter. Longtime head coach Steven Jeter with a couple of words of encouragement to his son, Brock, as he walked by. All in good fun. So the punt will go down to the Logansport. I think they're going to mark it at the 19-yard line. So the Tigers will have it 1st and 10 from there. 8:21 left here in the third quarter. So once again, the Flyers knock on the door with a chance to put this thing to 2 scores, John, but penalties and a couple of missed plays, and the Tigers get the ball back deep in their own territory.
But you know, I mean, that is the nature of this game. You do 80% of things right, and that 20% can kill you. I mean, and the Flyers are playing well. I really like the way we're throwing the ball. I really like the way we're moving the ball, but we just keep kicking ourselves.
And there's the big fullback, Ashton Bland. And Bland will get it up to the 40-yard line. He is a load, a totally different runner than Jacaden Carter, much bigger, not quite as speedy, but man, he is an absolute load. I'm sure he's something else to bring down for the Flyer defenders. Pass this time. Kaysen looks out, and we're going to have another flag here. Oh, it looks like the Flyers got very lucky that time. They didn't get a late hit out of bounds. Caden Packett on the reception for Logansport. Let's see what the original flag was about. Well, there's only one. Illegal block against Logansport. Flyers are going to move the ball back on that one.
Well, that's what I was expecting earlier in this game. I mean, I really kind of expected Logansport to go to these shorter passes, get the ball out to athletes, trying to get them out in space. And you know, right there, that was a well-designed play. And I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of come back to that same type of concept as we go along.
So after the penalty, the ball will be marked back on the Logansport 27-yard line. That'll make it 1st and 21. Bland's going to take the handoff, runs right up the A-gap and drags 2 Flyers down to the 40-yard line. That'll be a gain of 11. Actually, they're going to say the 39. Gain of 11 and a 1st down for Logansport.
Again, that's where you've seen that play, and you've seen Jack Ebar make that play a couple of times. But you can see if the defensive ends aren't able to crash down and make those plays, you can see what kind of push they get into the linebackers. And right there, that was Carter Doyle, one of the strong safeties, that had to come in and actually make that tackle.
It's like Carter's back in the backfield for Logansport, and the ball hits the ground. Flyers unable to capitalize, and Kaysen's able to turn what would be 3-yard loss into a first down for the moment.
That's coming back, David.
There's a flag, yes, in the backfield.
That's a hole. They actually took the Loyola defender down to the ground.
Yes, it is. Good call, John. So holding the call against Logansport will bring that one back. Great individual play by Keaton Kaysen, but all for naught.
It really was a very athletic play on his part, but he was able to seal the edge. 'Cause I believe that was Alex Mitchell that was actually there, staying home as he should be, but he was able. They grabbed him and actually pulled him down to the turf.
The Flyers want to get a little heavier on the line of scrimmage and bring Bazowski back into the game. I know I butchered that. Sorry. Jack, I owe you one.
You want to say it again? Buzwitsky?
Handoff goes to Carter, and Carter is brought down after about a gain of 2. Horton on the tackle for the Flyers. That'll set up a 3rd and let's call it 11. No, we'll say 10.
We haven't called Hayden Horton's name a ton tonight, but again, that's how you play linebacker right there. And he's been playing it well for a couple of years. He looks the part. He's gotten added weight, and he still flows with football like he used to.
All right, so we're at that point. Water break, 5:51 left here in the third quarter. Flyers still lead it 7-0. You're watching Flyer Football on LCP TV.
You came home from work with a migraine. Your son has a sore throat on a Saturday. You need care right now. Christus Health has affordable, convenient, on-demand care because you don't always get sick during doctor's hours. Help is in the palm of your hand. You can reach our clinicians within 20 minutes from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Visits for residents of Texas and Louisiana over age 5 cost $30. Christus Health, on demand, because we're here for you wherever here is.
How does your bank define local? At Home Federal, it means being here in Shreveport and Bossier since the doors opened in 1924. It means surviving and thriving alongside our customers through the good times and the bad. Since our beginning, Home Federal has been a part of Shreveport Bossier. Our roots are here. Our headquarters are here. Decisions are made here. That's how we define local. Home Federal Bank, a better way.
Welcome back. They've put 5 seconds back on the clock for the water break, so 6 minutes left here in the third. Logansport has a big 3rd and 10 right here. They need the 48-yard line. Pass downfield is going to be knocked down. There's that man again. Carter Ward. Great job for the second time tonight, getting 2 hands on a deep ball and knocking it down.
And Brock Jeter was there as well, so both of them were there. They're probably mad at each other. One of them didn't pick it off, but it was good to see the speed and the aggressiveness to go make that play. But here are the Flyers again. I mean, you got to be worried about Logansport's desperation at some point, and so you've got to be paying attention to what they're doing on these punts.
Oh, it's a high snap. Nice job just getting up, and it's caught. What a play. Was that Jeter?
I'm not sure what. No, I think that's Evan Lorette.
Evan Lorette. I'm sorry.
There may have been running into the kicker.
There
may have been blocks in the back. We got all kinds of stuff going on.
That was my worst 10 seconds ever as a play-by-play man. I was so dumbfounded
block in the back.
by the number. I couldn't tell if it was Jeter or Lorette.
Again, it's so awkward to watch the punter punt the ball because right there was some little bit of contact at the end. You're sitting there thinking, are they going to call that? Are they not going to call it? The ball's loose. You're not sure if you should let up or not let up. I mean, it's just one of those really hard things. And thankfully they didn't call that. But the block in the back, of course, that's the 3rd touchdown tonight that's been pulled back. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Third.
So the 10-yard penalty will mark it back to the 23-yard line, and the Flyers, despite not getting the touchdown there, to Evan Loret's chagrin, do have it in fantastic field position. You almost feel like Coach Sella, this is a must-score possession for the Flyers, starting from the 23. Field goal, touchdown, whatever it is, but they got to push this thing to 2 scores right here.
It would certainly help to demoralize a defense if you put them in that situation. But we start off.
Offsides on Logansport. So
penalty.
So 5 yards will make it 1st and 5 from the 18-yard line. And we have another penalty and another offsides by Logansport. So the Tigers content to just give the Flyers the first down so far in this possession. That'll mark it all the way up to the 14-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10, the 13. 1st and 10 from the 13. 1st and 10 from the 13 for the Flyers. .547 left here in the third. Restovich wants to throw. He's got a man in the end zone, and incomplete. Just hit the ground. He wanted Brewer that time. Good throw that time. He put it where really only Brewer could get it, and just wasn't able to come up with it.
That is perfectly said, David. You can't have any problem with that. It's gave Brewer a chance. That ball is right where it needs to be. And that's the same play you could come back to later on, and you could, get yardage out of. So there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way to attack the defense.
So 2nd and 10. Handoff goes to Drake. Drake had a hold there for a second, but it closed pretty quickly. I'm not even sure if he got past the line of scrimmage there. Maybe gained a yard. We'll call it 3rd and 9.
I would go back to that rollout play that worked successfully, where you have the underneath and the deep option, and like we talked about earlier. I mean, there were a couple times that Bryce could have taken it up the field on those rollouts.
So we're gonna have a timeout, Flyers, with 5:03 left here in the third. Coach Sella wants to talk about it. Big play here. We'll have it when we come right back. You're watching Flyer Football on LCP TV. Welcome back. 5:03 left here in the third. Big play for the Flyer offense right here. They need 9 down to the Logansport 4-yard line for a first. Restovich going to roll right, look to throw. He's looking to the end zone. He's got a man. Touchdown! Flyers! Ben Brewer, no flags. Well,
like I said, roll them out, look for the shallow and deep option. And exactly what they got. I really like the play call right there. And Bryce delivered that ball right where he needed to.
Lorette set to kick the extra point. And the kick is good. So your score here from Mesmer Stadium, 4:55 left in the third. Flyers now lead at 14-0. Let's go to Art Carmody on the sideline.
Hey, just like we talked about at halftime with Coach Green and Coach Sella, the Flyers defense is doing a phenomenal job tonight. They are shutting down this Logansport offense. And Evan Lorette with a heads-up play on special teams put the Flyers offense in position. Bryce Restovich doing a phenomenal job controlling moving out of the pocket, avoiding that Logansport defensive line to get a touchdown here. Flyers have all the momentum here in the second half. Logansport looks to be worn down. We'll see if the Flyers can continue to capitalize on the momentum for the rest of the second half. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Art. And John, like we said, Flyers needed to put some points on the board right there with that great starting field position, and they sure did. 13 yards from Restovich to Brewer, and the Flyers now lead it by 2 scores, 14-0.
You can't say enough about why timing is important in those situations. And really a very nice job by Bryce Restovich delivering the football.
And nice job by the Flyers special teams there. Content to continue to kick to them, and the special teams guys are making plays.
And that was your kicker making an open field.
Yeah, Lorette doing all the work right now. So once again, the Flyer defense takes to the field looking to pitch a shutout tonight. And so far, they're getting it done.
The sideline warning, it looks like.
All right, so we're going to have 1st and 10 from the 36. That's where the Tigers will have it. They now find themselves down 14 points on this still and muggy night in Mesmer Stadium. Great job that time. That was Brock Jeter. Brock Jeter came flying in and just trucked Jacaden Carter after a 3-yard pickup. Great job there by Jeter.
Now, really, right there on that play, Carter Doyle made a really nice move to get to the edge and kind of slow the running back up, but he wasn't able to get the tackle, but he slowed him up just enough to decrease his speed and to allow Brock to come in and just lay waste.
Again, the handoff's going to go to Carter. Carter takes a little step, makes a man miss, and picks up about 7 yards and a first down that time for the Tigers. A nice run that time by Jacaden Carter.
And there is Brock Jeter again coming up from that safety position. He came up fast and kind of softened him up for Hayden Horton to get the tackle.
First and 10 Tigers from their own 46. Kayson's going to throw this one. Looks downfield and passes. Intercepted! Intercepted by Ward. Ward crosses the 45 down to the 44, and the Flyers will have it first down. Looks like correction 46, but that's immaterial. Carter Ward having one heck of a football game tonight. 2 pass breakups and now an interception. Great job by the former Southfield Eagle.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing, as a senior leader on your team, you want to be that person who's showing them how to play. He's played very smart tonight. He's played athletically tonight. And those are the fruits of your labor right there.
So let's see if the Flyers shift into clock burn mode here, John, or if they want to go for the jugular.
Well, they've been so efficient in these short and intermediate passes, and then, of course, they've taken chances down the field. They've taken 3 or 4 chances, and you might expect that they might take another chance because they've gotten one-on-one coverage a few times.
The first one's going to go to Drake. Drake's got a nice hole. Mason Drake is going to have a first if that flag's not on the Flyers.
Again, just holding it a little too long.
Loyola, so that one's coming back.
I love that play. I love the pulling of the guards, getting out there. And again, that's such a hard thing. We've seen that play over the years, and we've seen, Jack Ebarb against corners and safeties in an ugly mismatch. And you hate to see it being brought back, but I certainly hope they come back to that. Mason Drake did a very good job of going inside that block, waiting for his kick-out block. He has a really nice little left jump cut that gets him inside of blocks, and it's very smooth for him.
So after the penalty, it'll be 1st and 20. Jeter's going to keep that one. Restovich going to keep that one. He's going to pass outside to Black. And Black picked up maybe 2 yards on that one. Make it 2nd down and 18.
Yeah, that was a really good job on Jake Black's part. That's a long throw that allowed the safety to come over there and play that ball. That's one of those ones that can get picked off and go the other direction. And Jake Black was able to just, corral and get what he could out of it.
Restovich looking deep. They want the jugular, and they got it. Jeter down to the 25-yard line. 1st down, Flyers, gain of 30.
And that's the first time I think I've seen Bryce actually take a pretty good shot. I thought that was maybe a tad late, but they didn't call it, and Bryce just jumped up and went on to the next play.
So 1st and 10 from the 22. Handoff goes to Drake. And Drake's met maybe the 20. Looks like they're going to give him maybe a yard. 2 minutes left here in the 3rd with another flag on the play.
That's from the back judge, too, so makes you think of a potentially dead ball situation or.
Personal foul against Logansport. So Flyers are going to pick up a free 1st down here, I believe. If they can see if they're in half the distance territory. I'm not sure if they'll make it down to the line to gain or not. It's going to be close, and they are. So 1st down, Flyers. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the 11. 2nd time this game they've had that. 2:08 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Flyers lead it by 14-0. Looking to add to that. You almost feel like, John, a 3rd score here would be nearly insurmountable for the Tigers.
Well, and this is the way the game should be going. You should be kind of putting your foot down on them at this point.
Jeter under pressure, dumps it off. Great play call. Drake on the catch. Mason Drake. Touchdown! Flyers! 11 Restovich to Mason Drake, who scores for the second time tonight, and the Flyers take a 20-0 lead.
I love the call. I love the athleticism of Mason to be able to avoid a couple of tackles and use a couple of blocks, and then the discipline of the Loyola blockers out there as guys were turned and not actually hit them in the back. And really, that's kind of call. Those are the kind of things that get brought back because you actually block in the back. But really, very nice design play.
So Lorette set to attempt the extra point. And the kick is good. So your score here at the waning moments of the third quarter, 1:49 left. Flyers lead at 21-0. And let's get on to Art Carmody on the sideline.
Hey guys, Coach Tanner and I were talking about it right before that last possession for Logansport. We needed to see a turnover from the Flyers defense, and we got one. Again, what Coach Sell was talking about at halftime, the short passing game, works to perfection. Mason Drake taking it again. You can't ask for a better game plan by the coaching staff for the Flyers tonight. John and David, back to you.
All right, welcome back. Flyers now have a 3-score lead late in the third quarter. The offense has really started to find its footing under second-year quarterback Bryce Restovich. Mason Drake doing a great job of receiving out of the backfield tonight. And the Flyers have a 3-score, 21-point lead. But all that being said, John, it may be the defense that's been the star of this game, holding a Tiger offense that, it bears repeating, scored 46 points against what many people might consider the predominant two-way power in the state of Louisiana, the Manny Tigers, 1 week ago.
Yeah, I want to make a point real quick. I mean, Evan Leverett, again, right there, put the ball in the end zone, and he almost hit the pylon. It was that good angle to kick. And so, that ball goes, to the 5 and goes out of bounds. You might have to kick it over. But he kicked it right where he needed to avoid the 3 deep backs and get the touchback. Nice job on his part.
So 1st and 10 Tigers from their own 20. Keaton Kaysen's going to hand off this time to Bland, but before they can even get started, we have a flag.
Yeah, that's a false start on the inside wide receiver, so that one was fairly easy to.
So after the Tiger penalty, it'll be 1st and 15 now. That's Bland running hard for the Tigers up to the 23-yard line. That'll be a 3-yard gain, make it 2nd and 7.
He's too skinny. They play corner. I mean, I don't think.
Another nice run by Bland that time. He'll get it up to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 6 this time. Sykes on the tackle. It'll be 3rd and 1 when we come back from this medical timeout. 21-0, end of the third. You're watching Flyer Football on LCP TV.
Loosen up the arm and dig out the glove from the back of the closet. Get ready to show off your skills on the baseball diamond once again for the annual Old Timers game. Former Flyers will gather at Cicero Field on Saturday, April 5th for another fun game. And if you're a former baseball player, we'd love to have you join us. Even if you haven't thrown a pitch or swung a bat since you were in a Flyer uniform, you'll be amazed as to how quickly your skills will all come back to you. There are gifts for each player and lunch for all who participate in the Old Timers game. Contact the school if you'd like to sign up.
Welcome back. 55 seconds left here in the third. The Logansport player, we couldn't quite make out the number. I believe it was, John, was it 18? I couldn't tell. Jazavian Barnes, I think. Don't hold me to that one. It's very difficult. These teams that have the numbers that do not contrast with their jerseys very well. Third and 1 for the Tigers.
We need to petition the LHSAA about that, David.
Pass complete to number 8, Drake Deutsch that time, and that'll be good for a Logansport first down up to the 40-yard line. So good pass that time by Kaysen. 33 seconds left here in the third, and that stops the clock. Nope, and now the clock runs. Gain of 11 on the play. Little pop pass. That time, multiple flags, and it's not going anywhere anyway. Barnes, nothing doing. Flyer defense all over that one. And the penalty is going to be against Logansport. Illegal shift is the call. And let's see what the Flyers elect to do there. They're going to take the down of the distance. Flyers decline the penalty. So it'll be a loss of 1 on the play and make it 2nd and 11.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Evan Lerad again coming up from that safety position. And as you said, that little stretched out play, if you're able to seal the edge, you got to be able to come up in that safety position and get in open field, get the runner down. He did a very nice job.
So into the third. Flyers looking good tonight here in their home opener at Logansport Stadium. They lead at 21-0, and we'll be back for the fourth. You're watching Flyer football on LCP TV. Second and 11 for Logansport, down 3 scores, 21-0. Bland, tough running. He'll pick up 6 on the carry up the middle. Tell you what, when he's had his opportunities tonight, he's been an effective runner for the Tigers. You almost wonder why they haven't given him the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, really, again, Hayden Horton's, having to make those plays against a really stout running back, and he's doing a good job.
So 3rd and 4. You almost kind of figure this is 4-down territory at this point with this score. we're going to have a flag. Looks like the play clock ran out. Delay of game against Logansport is the call. So what was a manageable third down is now a 3rd and long, 3rd and 9, and I can't imagine that Coach McGee is real fired up about that one.
Yeah, that one's a hard one to take right there.
So mass substitutions that time, and it looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field. I believe so. No, it is still 3rd down, sorry. Kaysen is going to tuck it and run, and he's not going to get there. Great open field tackle that time.
Go for it, David. Go for it.
You're going to make me Buzaseski!
What an outstanding play on his part.
Outstanding young man.
From that defensive end position to make that play in the open field.
We're from Louisiana. We don't get a lot of them Buzaseskis down here, John. That's a hard one for us.
Just put a EAUX on the end of it.
4th and 3 for the Tigers. Flyers would love to get them off the field right here and burn some clock. And they're gonna get it because they're gonna punt it. And good job staying away from that one. And the Flyers will take over 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line. And right now, John, I think the order of the day is run clock run.
Yeah, I mean, and again, this is, if you've designed this game and you're trying to conceptualize how this game could go, for the Flyers, you couldn't really ask for more. You have essentially made Logansport not totally one-dimensional, but their running game, which looked very strong against Manny, the Flyers have done an efficient enough job. Logansport hadn't stayed with it as much as you might expect them to, but they've put them in these passing situations, and they put themselves in passing situations because of their penalties. And so this is really kind of scripted the way you would want it to go if you were one of the Flyer coaches.
Mason Drake takes the handoff, and he'll maybe pick up 2 yards.
That may go down as a 2-yard run, but you notice what Mason Drake did right there. As small as in stature as he is, he's still pumping those legs as he's taking the hit. And that's really a mark of a good runner. I mean, you're not giving up anything. Those are the kind of things that will get you extra yards as the season goes on.
Restovich fires away, and he's got a complete pass out to Jake Black. Maybe picks up another 3 yards right there. That'll make it 3rd down and 5. Nice zip on that ball from Bryce Restovich.
It is, and that's one of the things that it's frustrating when you're a cornerback and you're playing and you're essentially in the right position, but the quarterback is putting the ball on the money every time, and all you can really do is just try to make your tackle every time and hope you get your tackles 100% of the time.
Great job by the Flyer quarterback. They better get this one off or call a timeout. That's what he's going to do. Figured he was trying to take it down to zeros before he snapped it, but it looks like they want to talk about it instead. So 8:29 left here in the 4th quarter. Flyers in command, 21-0. You're watching Flyer football on LCP TV.
The annual Loyola Style Show and Luncheon will be held Wednesday, November 13th at the Bossier Civic Center. Doors open at 11 a.m. and the show begins at 11:30. Sponsored by the Parents Association, the Style Show is a long-standing tradition at Loyola that celebrates the senior class. Loyola seniors will take the stage for the main show, where groups model clothes from local stores in addition to the Senior Walk and the Alumni Walk. All Flyer alumni and future Flyers are invited to join in the fun. With special seating available for each group, the Style Show is a great way to reconnect with old friends and meet new ones. We're bringing it back. For more than 80 years, the Flyer Alumni Association was a great tradition at Loyola, and this year, this great event will make its return. The barbecue will take place on Saturday, September 28th at the LCP Cafeteria, and it promises to be an event filled with good food, football, and Flyer pride.
4th and 4. No, 3rd and 4, excuse me. Flyers need the 27, and they're not going to get it. Passes high. Restovich looking for Jeter that time. And the Flyer punt unit will come out onto the field.
They may have been expecting Colby Hamilton to be in that position. That's about the only one who might have been get up tall enough to get that ball. But
so Ward will drop back to punt this away for the Flyers. Jordan Meschel will await the kick at midfield for Logansport. Ward needs to be a little bit careful here.
But I will tell you, out of 25 to 30 passes that Bryce Restovich has thrown, I think I've only seen 2.
Oh, fantastic kick by Ward.
That really
all the way in the air down to the 38, and the Flyer, it's going to take a fly roll down to the 19-yard line. That is one heck of a kick, but there is a flag also in the backfield in the area of running into the kicker. In that case, the Flyers are going to be back on offense because they only needed 4. Let's see what that call is.
Carter Ward seems to get something on Logansport. He seems to be celebrating, but maybe he may be celebrating his kick.
I think either way he had an opportunity. Maybe they got a hold. So, personal foul, okay. Well,
against the Flyers.
Just completely wrong about that. But any which way, heck of a kick by Carter Ward. So after all that, 8:11 left in the football game. Flyer defense still looking for that shutout. Pitching it so far. 21-0 Flyers, your score here halfway through the 4th. And just as I say that, I finally feel a little breeze again, John. It's actually become pleasant one more time at the very end.
Yeah, for the kids, thank goodness we're not out here in 90-plus degree heat, and this is a very comfortable night, thankfully, to be playing football. We've seen plenty of kids cramp up in their first couple of games of the season, so it's nice to see that that's not happening.
Kaysen looks downfield, has a man at the 47-yard line. He's tackled immediately, but that's good enough for a force down. Dortch on the reception. Thomas Gosley came flying in to make the tackle to prevent any yards after the catch, but the pass will give Logansport a first down at the 46. Handoff to Carter. Carter breaks a couple of tackles. Carter's got some room if he doesn't get butt out, but a great job again. There's Carter Ward. Pass breakups. Open field tackles. Great punts. What else can Carter Ward not do?
Well, that was crucial right there, because if he's not staying home, that is a touchdown. So they were able to get into the interior defense. So the Flyers have been substituting a fair amount. Now it looks like they're bringing starters back in, and look like they had a couple of people getting a little bit of playing time. But I think one of them was I think that was Reggie Sipes, and I think that was Bennett Lawson, that both had come in and played the end position.
Kaysen looks to throw again, and that pass is going to be broken up in the backfield. Great job by the Flyers swarming to the ball that time. Budashevsky got in there that time.
There you go, David.
Put a big hit.
It's rolling off the tongue now. That was an outstanding play on his part. Again, it was really kind of interesting that they just subbed him in. And Jack Ebarb, they're both back in the game at their starting defensive end positions.
3rd and 2. Handoff to Carter, and he'll have just enough for the first down. Gain of 2.5. Yeah, you got to figure Coach Sella. I mean, he understands that his defense is pitching a shutout right now, and that means a lot. He didn't want to give that up, no matter what the score is.
Well, not only that, but I mean, you have some senior players who play both ways, and it is absolutely essential to get them some rest when you can.
Ball hits the ground. Kaysen does a good job picking it up and scrambling. He's had to do that a few different times tonight, making Flyers miss left and right, and we're going to get a face mask at the end of that tackle. Looks like that was Jeter that came flying in. Good job on the tackle, just got his hand a little too high. Oh, excuse me, that was Gosley, not Jeter. Excuse me, Gosley.
You can see on the previous play that Jack Ebarb kind of came up a little bit limp. And, one of the things that, again, playing both ways, you want to be able to give them some time. You've got Reggie Sipes in now at that defensive end position. So, again, that's you're looking – the Flyers look like they have good depth because they've been substituting offensive linemen. And you have to have that in order for your season to be really productive. I have been impressed with the senior leadership that I've seen on this team. I've really seen some outstanding plays by many of the seniors, but you've got to have those other guys that can fill in the gaps.
All right, we're going to take our last water break of the night. Flyers lead at 21-0. You're watching Flyer football on LCP TV.
The three-pointers will be flying all over the Loyola gym when the annual alumni basketball game takes place on Saturday, January 4th. There's a rumor that some defense might actually be played, so you won't want to miss out on playing in this game. In recent years, we've had players from at least 6 decades lace up the sneakers and give it their best shot. It's a fun way to spend a Saturday showing off your skills on the hard court. This is a fundraiser for the basketball program, and you can play as much or as little as you like. If you're a former Flyer basketball player, we'd love to have you join us. Contact head coach Ben Schonfarber at the school if you'd like to participate.
We're back. 1st and 10, Logansport from the Flyer 27. Looking to put their first points of the football game on the board, and Flyers would very much like to keep that from happening. Had a great game tonight on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, there's an extensive conversation between Coach Sella and the officials that just kind of halted play for a moment. It looks like they finally finished the conversation. Doesn't look like Coach Sella probably got the answers that he wanted out of it, but still, Flyers have a commanding lead, and it's time to just close this game out.
Kaysen looks to throw, looks downfield, pass is complete to Deutsch. Deutsch makes a nice little move right there and crosses the 20 down near a first down. And they're going to say, it looks like they're going to say he's a little bit short. Make it 2nd and 1, gain of 9.
The 17-yard line, gain of 10, correction, gain of 9, 2nd and 1.
Just a little under 5.5 minutes left in the football game. Inside handoff that time to Carter. And Carter picks up maybe 5 yards on that carry. It'll be good enough for a Logansport first down at the 13.
Again, you can see Grant Solomon just got a little spell. They're trying their best to get these kids a little bit of a breather, and Solomons is back in at his normal nose guard position.
Again, a little pop pass. And again, the Flyers do a really good job with that. They've done a nice job on that play all night long. It was Michelle, on the carry for Logansport, or on the reception, I should
Again,
say.
an outstanding play by Carter Doyle and Brock Jeter right there. Both of those guys have come up with some pretty good hits in this game, and right there, both of them were right there to slow up the runner.
Kaysen looks downfield, he looks into the end zone, and that pass is incomplete, a little bit high. Lorette looked like he may have gotten a fingertip on that.
Yeah, I mean, that was a nice play design. They're trying to get it, thread it between the two safeties, but I give both the safeties a lot of credit. Brock Jeter came over from his safety position and was able to kind of bat at the ball, make it hard to catch, and Evan Lorette was right there with him.
3:52 left in the football game. 3rd down and 7. Kaysen rolls right, looks downfield, and that pass is complete. Looks like they're going to say it's a catch at the 2-yard line. So that'll be good enough for a 1st down, and it'll set up a 1st and goal from the 2 situation. First time the Flyers have found themselves with their back to the end zone all night long, John.
Yeah, and again, you're trying to substitute out some of your starters. You've gotten some big plays against it, but the starters got to get a rest. You've got thankfully a 3-score lead. That's why all these touchdowns that were lost earlier in the game, all of it means something.
And Kaysen's going to keep it, and he's going to score. So that time they ran that little pass play, little pop pass several times in a row, and finally Kaysen kept one. And Logansport put 6 points on the board. Took them nearly the whole football game, but they finally got there. 21-6 now your score with the extra point pending, and I would imagine we're going to see a 2-point attempt here.
Yeah, but it's interesting that in 3 minutes in a football game with only really 3 scores.
Kaysen looks to throw, and that is not going to make it to the end zone. Great coverage that time by the Flyers. Looks like Gosley on the coverage that time for the Flyers. And with 3:13 left here in the football game, Flyers now lead at 21-6.
Well, what I was going to say earlier, David, was that interesting that at 3 minutes we're going to see what the Flyers do to try to eat up time. Our offense has really been made on short passes, intermediate passes. I mean, really the running game is secondary. And so, do you try to put the running game at the forefront of your offense? Where it really hasn't been that through this game, or do you stick with what you're doing and try to ride the game out?
Well, Logansport does have all their timeouts. Loyola has 1, but you do have to figure at least 2 of these 3 plays have got to be a run of some sort. You either got to force Logansport to use some of those timeouts, or you got to burn some clock right here. They have not shown that they can drive the ball quickly, Logansport. They've scored, but that took them a while. It's hard to believe that they're going to put 2 up unless they get an explosive, which they haven't shown any ability to do so far tonight. And they certainly cannot do it through the pass game. It wouldn't seem so. Just got to take care of the ball. That's a big thing right here, John. You certainly don't want to. Oh, we're going to have a late hit. There you go. Logansport player late hit, and he's following the Loyola player over to the sideline. Let's see if that pulls a second flag. And now we got chirping between a player. It looked like the Logansport player was chirping at Coach Lewis there.
Yeah, and we got Logansport coaches coming, 2/3 of the way across the field. They didn't like what was going on. So I mean, they really need to calm this game down. There have been way too many penalties in this game.
By my unofficial count, that's 16 penalties in the second half alone.
And I can't tell you one that other than the lateral pass play that I would have, objected to. The officiating has been very good tonight.
Oh, hey, there's been a lot of flags, but it's been very even-handed.
But I'm glad. I mean, this is
They've
what you
called
want.
a tight game.
Yeah,
I mean,
you don't want kids getting out of control. And so, I'm glad to see them, try to take control of the game the best they can.
And in all honesty, we've done this for a long time, and we've certainly seen officiating crews that come out here and throw a lot of flags, and a lot of them aren't very good calls, to be blunt. But these guys, I mean, they've thrown a lot of flags, but I don't really recall hardly any scenarios where we felt like it wasn't the right call.
Right. And that's what I say, man. At some point, you as a player have to learn to respect what the officials are doing and align yourself with the way the game is being called.
So after all that, it's going to be Flyer ball 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. .306 left in the football game. Mason Drake's going to take the first handoff. He'll trip over the 45 to the 46. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's exactly what the doctor drew up. Isn't that right, Doctor?
I was just about to say, you and I, just commented on that, and I really like the play call. So, there's nothing wrong with running 40 seconds off the clock.
No, there is not. And if Logansport does not want to use their timeouts right now, great. Restovich should take this well under the 10-second count on the play clock. And he's doing a really nice job of that. Good patience. We've seen young quarterbacks not show that kind of patience in games before. Hey, we're going downtown. What do you mean run the ball out? Great pass that time, Restovich to Jake Black down to the 10-yard line. That's a 50-yard pass, and the Flyers now have it 1st and goal.
Really, I mean, that ball is on the money, and Jake Black made an outstanding catch. He high pointed the ball with a shorter cornerback around him. And, outstanding play. Really great play call at that time, too.
1st and goal, just inside the 10. 1:52 left in the football game. Handoff goes to Drake. Drake looking for Rusevich keeps it. He even faked me out. Touchdown! Flyers. Bryce Restovich, 10 yards on the scamper around the right side, and the Flyers now lead it 27-6.
Well, we talked about that play earlier. We talked about how many times you can go to that dive, and how open it was on that side. And I'm glad it's in the playbook. That's a good call.
Well, that was a little bit of a statement there by the Flyers. A lot of rigmarole at the kickoff, and the Flyers just said, you know what, we're going to take 3 plays and score. And Lorette is going to score on the extra point as well, and we're going to have a bunch of flags to nobody's surprise.
Well, at least it's not one official. They all are seeing whatever's going on down there, and I give them a lot of credit because...
All right, we're going to go down to Art Carmody on the sideline. Art.
Bryce Restovich putting the finishing touches on the score tonight. Flyers up 28-6. Little chippiness down here, but the Flyers put the exclamation point on a huge victory over a 1A power Logansport. John Sella, the official first win as head coach for the Flyers. It's been a great night here. David and John, back to you.
58 yards in 3 plays is your Flyer scoring drive with 1:39 left here in the football game. Flyers now with a commanding 28-6 lead. Beautiful pass play by Restovich to Jake Black to set up the 10-yard Restovich run. And after the penalty, the Flyers are going to kick from the Logansport. Looks like the Logansport 45.
I believe Coach Mitchell's going to have him kick away here. I'm going to go ahead and predict that. No squib. I believe he's aiming for the goalpost.
Through the goalpost.
I'm hoping so.
The old through the goalpost. Show him your leg. Let's go, Lorette. Get it there. Out of the back of the end zone. That's what we're talking about. That still counts as out of the back of the end zone on the stat book, right?
Absolutely.
That's like a baseball player getting to play on a 275-foot field.
And you can always say that wasn't wind-aided at all. I mean,
9-foot goal.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely not wind-aided. Humidity, I don't know if we think golf humidity would actually hold the ball down a little bit.
Again, here are some of the younger Flyers getting into the game. We talk about this all the time about how important these minutes are. You know, if you want to show the coaches that you're ready to be a part of the team later on down the season, this is the opportunity to do it. These are not wasted plays or wasted minutes if you get these opportunities.
That is Kadarian Kingston on the carry that time. 8 yards for Kingston. And make it 2nd and 2.
Horton and Ivy on a nice play cleaning that up. Looks like Salmons is actually finally getting his last break for the night. He well-deserved break.
Second and 2. Handoff again to Kingston, and Kingston going to be met after about a 1-yard gain by a host of Flyers. So 3rd and 1. Let's see if Logansport is even going to try to get one more playoff or not. They don't look terribly enthusiastic to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they don't really have to run anything, but
Nope.
I guess they probably will run one more.
And the handoff to Kingston, and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That was, who was it?
Oh, of course, it's somebody who doesn't have a number on the roster.
I think that's Ivy, isn't it?
Was that Ivy? Yeah, you're right. Ivy with the tackle. Great tackle to end the game. And that'll wrap it up. Flyers do a great job in their home opener against the Logansport team that was 1-0, coming off a huge win over 2A Power Manny. Final score here from Mesmer Stadium, 28-6. We'll be right back with a few comments and a post-game report. You're watching Flyer Football on LCP TV. right, welcome back to Westmer Stadium, where it's good vibes all around for the Flyers as they take this one 28-6 over the Logansport Tigers. And John, I tell you what, for Coach John Sella's home debut, he's got to be pretty darn happy with his Flyers on both sides of the ball right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you're playing football, it's not only about athleticism, but there's a real cerebral part of the game, and I really like the way that Loyola's coaching staff had come out and designed what they wanted to try to accomplish in this game. And you know, I didn't like the penalties as much, and this game could have been, you know, even a bigger differential than it ended up being because of some of those penalties. But you could tell that the kids understood what they were trying to do. And you know, I've talked a couple times in this game how important it is. If you're going to have this concept, this is the way you're going to try to advance the football, you've got to have precision, and it starts with your quarterback. And so I give Bryce Restovich credit to come out here and throw bullets. You know, and you began the telecast talking about what last week was and how you wouldn't really know what last week was all about. You were absolutely right. So this is what we're actually seeing on a good night with a good field and good conditions. You can see what the Flyers are able to accomplish. And so, you know, I didn't know what we were going to have this year. It's nice to come out here and see what the concept is. I am impressed with what I've seen. I'm impressed offensively with what the Flyers did today. And as you pointed out many times this telecast, I am very impressed defensively with what they did. And congratulations, Coach Self, on his first win.
All right, so that'll wrap it up from here at Westmer Stadium. Your score one more time: Loyola 28, Logansport 6. We'll see you again in 2 weeks, September 27th, here on LCP TV, as the Flyers will take on the Southwood Cowboys. Next week, the Flyers head on the road, September 20th, and they'll be at Cedar Creek. So for Ellen Dart, our producer, Huck Andrews, our producer, Angel Pham and Bella Cassio, our camera girls, I'm David Winkler. For John Carmody and Art Carmody and everybody else involved with LCP TV, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.